Hello, it is so lovely to see you here. In this video, we'll be reviewing the Amazfit Helio Strap. As someone who has a casual interest in health monitoring, we'll talk about how the Helio Strap measures up to wearables I've worn in the past, why I chose the Helio Strap, and what I learned about my health after wearing this for 3 months. If you're someone who's wondering if you would benefit from wearing a fitness tracker, stay till the end and I will let you know if I recommend the Helio Strap, even for someone who's casually into fitness. Like, I like working out, but you know, I'm not counting my macros, definitely not getting my protein goals. But I did just win a challenge where I lost the most percentage of body fat in 8 weeks, so I guess I'm doing something right. I will be touching a little bit on my unhealthy eating and workout habits in the past, so if that is something that is triggering, I will see you guys on the next video. My history with wearables, I've mostly just done Fitbits. I had 3 different Fitbits. I had the Fitbit 1. I think that's the one that like only does steps. I had it because when I used to dance, it was like the perfect size to kind of have it on your hip. And then I can like, you know, see the time so I knew when it was time for me to get off. And then when I was postpartum with my first, I needed something to like tell me the time. So I did get the Fitbit Inspire, and I had a couple of the Fitbit Inspire, but then like the face would stop working. And then so I went to the Fitbit Charge, and that did okay. But the face would just stop working eventually. So when I decided that I wanted to get a new wearable, I stumbled upon a video by Kelty O'Connor where she reviewed the Whoop band. And because I had so much issues with the face just not working, I knew I wanted something that didn't have a face, that I would just, you know, get all the data off my phone. I also can get quite obsessive. So having like all the stats on my wrist, I would, you know, always be like looking to see how many steps or what's my heart rate. So having that off my wrist so I can be more intentional about when I'm going into the data has really helped that obsession. But I didn't get the Whoop band because I'm just over subscriptions. Like, everything is a subscription. And like, yes, the upfront cost for the Whoop band is probably less than everything else, but then if you have it more than a year, at the end of the day, it's going to cost more than maybe like an Aura ring. I also did kind of look at the Aura ring. I know like girls love the Aura ring because it just looks like jewelry, but the initial price for the Aura ring just wasn't something I wanted to purchase. So I did a lot of research online. Looking at the Hume band, I found a YouTube channel called The Quantified Scientist, who just like, it's the best resource if you're looking for wearables to figure out what wearable is right for you. So after watching his videos, I settled upon the Amazfit Helio Strap because, one, there's no subscription. It's $99, which is cheaper than the smallest Fitbit. For Christmas, I asked my mom if I could have this, and I have loved it. It took a while to like get used to having like a black strap on my wrist all the time, but now I don't even like think about it. On the website, it says that you get 10 days worth of battery. I have kind of gotten like 8. I don't want it to go below 10%, so a solid 8, almost 9 days is what I've been able to get with a full charge. And then to access your stats, you just go into the Zepp app, and it has your sleep score, your biocharge, and exertion, which is very similar to the Whoop app. The biocharge, I think the Aura ring also kind of has like a biocharge type thing. The biocharge is kind of like where your body is at. If your body is depleted, if you're not getting, you know, good amount of sleep, or if you're just working out too much, it really reflects in this number. Biocharge measures the changes in body energy throughout the day. It calculates scores based on data such as nighttime sleep, daytime rest, heart rate variability, resting heart rate, and activity levels. Daily activities, exercise, intense emotions all consume biocharge, and sleep and relaxation help restore it. The sleep in the beginning was not as accurate, but the longer that I've worn this, it does notice when I am waking up in the middle of the night. And then so you kind of see how often you're waking up. If it's like, you know, a second, this one was like a minute, or no, this one was 5 minutes. And then it also tells you your heart rate. So last night, my heart rate is kind of in the awake zone, but in most nights, it is usually in the REM section. So I must just not have good sleep last night. I think I had too much caffeine. The sleep metrics tells you your sleep duration, your sleep regularity, and then, you know, how often you are awake, how far you're in deep and REM sleep. You can kind of make notes about what you did before you slept, how you woke up, and then it gives you the sleep metrics for the last 7 days, including respiratory. Exertion is exercise and daily activities. I have my workout detection off because when I had it on, even in low sensitivity, it would tell me things like, oh, you were doing something and it's just like me washing dishes. So I just have this off. And for the rest of the exertion, I log in my workouts. I usually do cross training and then I just change the name to Bunda in whatever class it was for Bunda. The fatigue level will tell you if you've been working out too much, fitness level, and then training status. On the overview tab, it basically just brings everything together. It always tells you about your sleep insight, activities. The core metrics you can kind of tailor to what you want, but I pretty much put everything there and then you can kind of see everything. I don't log food. There are a lot of activities you can select. I have these 8 as my shortcuts, but there are many fitness things you can do. So you have indoor workouts, and then you have run, walk sports, cycling, ball sports, boxing, and then you have other sports like Hydrox race. I don't have my VO2 max log because in order to obtain your VO2 max, you have to wear your device and engage in outdoor running. And during the run, you have to maintain a running speed exceeding 3.7 miles continuously for 10 minutes. And I just haven't gotten around to that, but I also don't really care about VO2 max. I know if you're like an athlete, that is something you want to know. I know Kelty O'Connor, she always talks about VO2 max, and I'm just like a group sport girl. So, you know, to me, that's not a big thing. So what have I learned about my health in the 3 months since I've been wearing the Amazfit Helio tracker? Rest is very important. If I am trying to push myself too much, like if I'm going 7 days a week, or I'll notice like if I do 6 days in a row working out, my heart rate variable changes. Also, my heart rate during sleep is higher. And if you told 20-year-old Jacqueline that rest was very important, I would have thought you were lying. I wish I had this when I was in my 20s or 30s because I really pushed myself. There was a moment in time where I would work out 5 hours a day and only eat like 8 to 1,200 calories. And at that time, I am probably the same weight I am now. And I looked so much bigger because now, hindsight, I was so inflamed. I was not resting. I was eating highly processed food. Like I ate lean cuisine, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just like living off coffee to fuel my energy to do 5 hours of workout every day. And then on the weekends, I would walk for 9 hours. So I wish I had this back then because now I see it. I see it as like a data point because like, yes, right now I'm on day 5 of working out in a row. And I know tomorrow, if I don't give myself a rest day, I'm gonna see my heart rate variability change. To me, it's just really fascinating because I just was not someone who rested. I embraced the hustle. You know, I would like work Monday through Friday, a day job, and then essentially Thursday through Sunday, work a night job, and then never give myself any time to rest. And it's like, no wonder my body looked bigger because I was so inflamed. My body's like, can you just give me a rest? Can you feed me properly? And just like, you know, love your body. And Kelty O'Connor said the same thing when she did the Whoop. One of the big things she liked about Whoop is it really shows how important recovery is to training. If you're someone like me who pushes herself to the edge, like that year that I was eating lean cuisine and working out for 5 hours, that year I wind up being in the hospital because probably from the processed food and like probably wasn't drinking enough water. I wound up getting a kidney stone stuck and I feel like I had it for like 3 days because I remember like just having like cramps for 3 days. And my friend was coming to visit from San Diego and she forced me to go to the hospital. It turned out a kidney stone stuck and they admitted me. Within hours, I was being prepped for emergency surgery because I was going into septic shock. So yeah, I am someone who will push herself to the brink, I guess, of death. And that's what I like about this. I also like that I'm not being obsessive. Like if I want to know how my sleep was, or if I want to know how many steps I've done or how many calories I burned, I go into the app. I don't have the option to scroll for no reason because you don't need to be keeping up on that. It's also why I never got the Apple Watch, because I think that whole like obsession of like completing the rings every single day would get to me because it would be on my wrist, So would I recommend this wearable for someone who is just casually wanting to track their health metrics? Absolutely. I'm not an expert in like VO2 max, the different zones. I'm not well versed in what all these things mean, but even with like the little knowledge that I've gained after wearing this for 3 months, I've learned so much about taking care of my body so I can help it perform at its optimal level. And like $99, you guys, like if you're thinking about a wearable, this is great. $99. Yes, you have the option of getting a subscription, but it's only more for like insight. And maybe when you start off, you do want to know the insights, like, they'll tell you more in layman's terms. But if you're just someone that just like kind of wants to start, knowing about their thing. I also got this because I felt like maybe sometimes I would feel my heart like skip a beat. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll get a wearable just to see if I am having like heart issues. That was also like my second reason why I wanted a wearable. But now I understand, if I have those nights where I'm like, oh my God, did my heart just skip a beat? It's probably because I've been going to work out too much and not resting enough. And I know like some people don't like the band, but to me, I feel like these days everyone has a wearable, so it's like not so weird to like have this on your wrist, because I know a lot of girls get the Oura Ring for that reason. I will leave a link to a couple of Kelty O'Connor's videos that really helped me kind of like go towards getting a wearable, as well as the videos that helped me come to the conclusion that the Amazfit Helio Strap is the wearable that I wanted from the Quantified Scientist. I will leave a link in the description for those videos below. And other than that, I will end this video here. I just want to make a short, sweet video. If you're someone that kind of wants to dabble in the wearables and you're like, how much information do I really need? I think this is a great one. You get more information on this than you get with like the lowest tier Fitbit. I feel like I'm dumping on Fitbit, but I've had 3 different Fitbits and they've all at some point broke. And I know I've only had this for 3 months, but I feel like with the Fitbit Inspire, it broke so many times. I think like in the span of 2 years, I had to replace it 3 times. It was still under warranty and they replaced it 3 times. I feel like the less technology you have, you don't have like the touch screen. So the less technology you have, the less things can go wrong. So I'm pretty optimistic that this will last me a while, but I hope you found this random video informative. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you're new to this channel, it means so much if you were to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. If you're watching this from my iPad or iPhone and you can hype this video, I would appreciate it so much. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.